Have you ever thought about how profoundly a book can change your life? And I'm not just talking about the books I've written. Anyway, I thought I would use this video to thank some of the authors who shaped my early journey into minimalism. This was 15 years ago, and many books have been written since then. But these are the 5 that inspired me the most. These books weren't just informative, they were life-changing. They provided inspiration and a wonderful foundation to not just minimize the possessions in our home, but to reshape the way we viewed the world and consumerism. So here are the 5 books that profoundly influenced my minimalist journey at the very beginning. Number 1, Clear Your Clutter with Feng Shui by Karen Kingston. This was the first book I read about minimalism, and it profoundly impacted my understanding of clutter. It taught me to see my possessions in a new light, and it served as a first step towards letting go. In fact, I can tell you the exact day I bought this book. Here's the story. It was June 12th, 2008. I had been introduced to minimalism at the end of May that month. June 12th was our anniversary. My wife and I were going to go out for dinner, and then we went to spend some time at a bookstore just 2 weeks later. I remember thinking to myself, I wonder if I can find a good book about how to declutter my stuff. And so looking over the bookshelves, Karen Kingston's book stood out. And so I bought it and took it home and read it. This book explores the ancient practice of Feng Shui in relation to modern clutter. And the Feng Shui stuff has never been particularly interesting to me, but her sections on why we collect clutter and her inviting words about owning less helped so much during my first few weeks, and so I had to include it here first. If you're looking for a deeper understanding of why we cling to clutter and how to release it, or any interest in Feng Shui, the book is a great place to start. Number 2, The 100 Thing Challenge by Dave Bruno. Dave shares his personal journey of choosing to live with just 100 personal possessions for 1 year. When I first heard about minimalism, began blogging about it, and reading more and more articles about it, I quickly ran into Dave Bruno and his 100 Thing Challenge. And while I never personally wanted to own just 100 things, I was fascinated with his experiment. Numerous times while minimizing, I thought to myself, well, if Dave can live with just 100 things, certainly I can get rid of this. And so this book details his story and the lessons he learned about consumerism and possessions, both in preparing for the experiment and during it. If you want to challenge your own beliefs about what you need and explore the possibilities of a simpler life, this book could be your guide. Number 3, Money, Possessions, and Eternity by Randy Alcorn. This book is thick, deep, rich, and Christian-based, relying heavily on the Bible to discuss how to view money and possessions in light of eternity. If you hate everything Christian, you'll really hate this book. If you love Christian writing but don't like deep theological books, you also might not like it. But if you really want to dive deep into a healthy Christian perspective on money and possessions, I cannot recommend this book enough. Of all the books that helped me see, minimalism is about a lot more than removing clutter. It's about living life to its fullest. This is the one that helped me the most. Number 4, More or Less by Jeff Schinnebarger. Jeff's book explores the concept of enough and how overcoming our need to acquire more and more can lead to a lifestyle of generosity. It's not necessarily a book about minimalism, but it profoundly influenced my minimalist journey by helping me see the link between minimalism and generosity. It was really life-changing for me, and I remember many of the stories even over 10 years after reading it. If you're searching for a new perspective on minimalism and its impact beyond just decluttering, More or Less is an inspiring read. And number 5, Essentialism by Greg McKeown. Generally, Greg's book is considered a time management book, but I have no problem adding it to this list as influential in my journey. I think it's great if you're looking to apply minimalism principles to your schedule or productivity. Here's part of the description. Essentialism is more than a time management strategy or productivity technique. It's a systematic discipline for discerning what is absolutely essential, then eliminating everything that is not, so we can make the highest possible contribution towards the things that really matter. Which to me sounds a lot like Minimalism. The book was released 10 years ago and has proven over and over again to be influential in my life. So there you have it, the 5 books that inspired my minimalist journey. If you're looking for something to read to motivate you in this process, I recommend all of them, in addition to the 5 that I have written.